All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're gonna be talking about the differences between the Gladiator and the ZR2. ZR2 here, Gladiator there. What is the differences? Which one's gonna be best for you? They're both two amazing off-road machines. They're both two amazing trucks. We got a Rubicon and a ZR2, so we got the highest off-road capable trim levels other than a Bison edition for this. But when we look at it, where do we stand here? What's the differences between these two trucks? Well, we got them side by side. So let's take a look at them. Okay, first thing we notice is that the size difference is there. Okay, the ZR2 is a much bigger vehicle. Okay, you can see it even in the hood, in the width of this thing. There's a lot of size to this truck. It's it feels big too. It feels, look at the height, the difference in the hood, height of the hood. You notice it tremendously. You're gonna sit in off the actual ground. It'll feel like you're sitting a little bit higher in the ZR2 than this, but in here, you actually feel like you're sitting higher up because of the hood level being down. Okay, so I mean, there's a difference. If you look at that across the top of the hoods, look at the size difference of that, okay? I mean, that's a big difference between these two trucks in here as far as the feel of them and how they're gonna feel when you're driving them. So that's a very big noticeable difference. Now, motor-wise, we got a complete difference, okay? We got the, the four-cylinder 2.7 turbocharged, what do they call it? The Turbo Max motor in this thing, 310 horsepower, 430 foot-pounds of torque. This one, naturally aspirated Pentastar V6. This is much smaller. We're not going to get into the actual number specs. There's plenty of stuff out there. I want to cover more on the reality side of it, okay? So when we look at these here, two amazing off-road machines. We do have front and rear lockers in both of these, which is absolutely incredible and vitally important to me. It's nice to have that front and rear lockers in these trucks and have them ready to go like that. Suspension-wise, this one's got the amazing Multimatic DSSV shocks on this thing. This has got incredible suspension, off-road suspension. The Gladiator, the suspension is meh. You know, it's just, it's nice little, it's Rubicon red shocks on it. Nothing fancy, nothing. This does not have the sport tune suspension, off-road bump compliance. This does not have what the ZR2 does. You can see, again, the size difference as you look at them from the back. There's a huge difference in these two trucks between the two of them here. And, but here we got recovery points on the back as addition to the hitch. People are like, well, it doesn't matter, you got the hitch. Well, it does matter, especially if you're running like a, if you're gonna use a snatch block in there, a snatch ring, it's nice to have that extra point on there. Here you do not get that. Here you only have the hitch. So you do not have the luxury of that like you do on there. It's a nice recovery tactic and point that you get with the Gladiator on there for off-road use on it. Back end wise, in the back of these things, okay, back here, mine apparently a mess too, but we have tie downs. You can't see them, they're buried, but we have tie downs in the front, down low, and tie downs here in the back, down low. Okay, we got low tie downs. Very good thing in there, very nice and functional. And we got our bed mat put in here, and you can see height-wise in here, not too bad. Okay, when we open the back of this one up, and we come back here, you got much higher space, much more room in here. And you got double tie downs. You got them low and you got them high in here too. Nice features in here. Bed mat in here. You also have the amazing Stowflex tailgate inside of this one too, which has got some really nice features. But you can see the size difference in those tailgates, in the height of those tailgates. And the height of the bed height in there. Tremendous. So there's a lot of benefit to this ZR2 when it's coming to some of this kind of stuff. So we'll close that back up on there and close this one up here. These are both basically same exact tonneau covers between the two as well. But look at the height again. Look at the height difference in the bed height on there. Look at the size difference between these two trucks. Okay, big, huge difference. Now, this one is on 35s. They're 35 1150s. This one is on 33s, okay? There's a big difference there. Look at the tire size. Okay, huge difference in tire size on there, 2-inch taller tire. And so you can fit more tire on this, okay? That's one of the beauties of the Gladiator is you can fit more tires. I got a 35 on this and I have a 35 tucked up under there, same exact tire. I can do that on here. They let you do that. You can actually even put a 37 underneath this, which is a beautiful thing. Here, a 34 is the most you can go, and you got to remove the heat shield to do it, I believe, but you can fit a 34 in here. If you want to put 35s on here, that spare tire has to go in the bed, on top of the bed on rails or whatever you got to do. It's pretty soon, I'm sure somebody's going to make a bumper with a swing out adapter and put it right here and have it right here on the back, but like I said, that is a deal with this. That is one downside to that ZR2 is the fact that you cannot put 35s on it and carry the spare tire any way that really works good. Okay, there's no real function to that. It kind of sucks. That's why the Bison edition has that rack in the back end that takes up all that bed space and takes your whole rear view out of the equation, is in order to give you that feature. Now, when it comes to the other things in here that are the hidden stuff that we're not seeing. Yes, they both are four-wheel drive. Yes, they both have front lockers. This does have a disconnectable sway bar in this Jeep, and that is a very nice feature. You get that luxury here. We do not get that in the ZR2. Here, we have lower horsepower and torque in the motor. Naturally V6 or aspirated V6, way lower power, but we have 410 gears. And we also have an 84-to-1 crawl ratio, okay? Transfer case, 84-to-1 transfer case in this thing, which is just amazing. Okay, or crawl ratio in here with that transfer case. Here the crawl ratio is only 48, I think, 48 or 40 something, 48-to-1 crawl ratio here, so half the crawl ratio. And we only have 342 gears. That's kind of a hit here, but we do got massive power and torque, way more power and torque. So it might cancel each other out. I've not had this buried in mud, and mud is the ultimate test. Like I said, going up and down a couple of hills, with that kind of stuff, that's fine. You got traction to there. You don't have any weight in the tires. You know, when you're riding in the mountains and you're doing that stuff and you need that kind of thing, I get it. And it may matter for some people. Even rock crawling, when you're rock crawling, you don't have any weight on the wheels. Okay, so it's not a big deal. When you're stuck in peanut butter mud down here, that's when that stuff really matters, because that mud not only clogs the wheels full, add in 100 pounds to it, it sucks the mud, and the mud sucks the tire in from all four corners, and you just can't break that suction without having the power to it with the gearing. We'll see how this does if Tina ever lets me take it in the mud. We'll see. But this one here, that's a big factor. Now, this truck has a very special feature that this one currently does not, and I love the fact that it doesn't. That is this. Cat tracks. Those are cat tracks from cats, the neighborhood cats walking on my truck. Fortunately, I don't see any on this one. That's a beautiful thing. Maybe they don't like this one. Oh, no, I lied. Dang it. Is that a cat track right there? I can't tell, but hopefully if we keep the cats, they'll stay off this one. Cats are always on mine. I think they like it because they can get up on it, come up easy on the bumpers, but cat tracks, very annoying with the cat tracks. But the capabilities of these two vehicles are very close together. Now this one's going to ride, like I said, smaller. It's going to feel a little bit smaller. It's going to fit two things better. You're going to be able to see everything better. It's much easier to see your wheels. You have everything protected better on the side on a Gladiator. See how the wheels stick so far out and the body lines are tucked in? It's going to protect you from brush and everything there. Here we have this massive front bumper that sticks out far, that is going to push brush out of the way and move everything out of there. And this is a replaceable, disposable part. You can buy these things for you can get them for like $50 on Facebook Marketplace as takeoffs, and brand new, they're not even that expensive. So in my opinion, this is a disposable wear item. Okay, as are these. These are not expensive. These ones back here, you can see they take a hit. Stone chips, mud, everything, but these are a wear item and replaceable, not expensive to replace. Got fender flares on here too, but they're not as big. And you have your body lines where these chisel out, that stick out more, that are going to take abuse from sticks and brush. See how this pops out here? Looks aggressive as can be, looks amazing, it's fantastic, but it's going to take a hit. It's going to take some abuse on there. So it's something that you got to kind of take into consideration, and we have zero front protection. Here we got that big bumper, sticks out far, protects everything. Here we have nothing, and you're going to hit piano black. Is the very first thing you hit any brush. You got a pine, pine trees or brush or anything you got to drive over. This is going to take the hit first, and those scratches are going to just glow on this thing. Somebody mentioned putting PPF on there, paint protection film. I'm going to probably think about doing that. That's probably a pretty solid idea to put on there. But even on the Bison edition, the AEV bumper, it doesn't stick out as much as I wish I did. It comes out a little bit. It matches this profile on the Bison, but it doesn't come out enough that it gets me excited. You want something is some protection in the front. So I'd probably have to do a bull bar or brush guard or something on there, because like I said, down here in the south in the swamps, you got to move stuff. You're driving through crap that blows your mind. It just is what it is. So you know, and like I said, I'm not knocking anybody out west, and I know, you know, I mean, there's some really hard terrain and some great obstacles out there people got to do. That's all fine and dandy, but usually your car is clean, and you don't have to worry about it if, you know, unless you go running through sagebrush. But for the most part, you guys are all right. Down here, front protection is mandatory, lockers are mandatory, and being able to turn those wheels over in the mud is mandatory. So that's a big factor. Now, another thing that does bother me on this one that they didn't do, that I will have to do if I take it over, I'm not sure I can show it, but the diff breather tube, I probably can, it's actually on the left side of this, but the diff breather tube on this sticks up about that high off the top of the diff, and that's it. It's got a cap on it, and it is a one-way valve, but we know those one-way valves fail all the time. Even in my Tacoma, I put the ARB relocate kit, and I will do that on this. The front diff is up high. The trans diff is up high, or the front diff breather tube is up high. The breather tube for the transmission is up high. The rear is way down low, and it's not good. It's just sitting right there. I would relocate that just like I did on my Gladiator up into here, where the Jeep already has them located up high from the factory. Jeep knows what they're doing on this stuff. They have that thing taken care of. So there's some differences here. There's some definite differences. Which one's best for you? You'll have to decide. I love both of these. They are a completely different driving experience that we will save for another video, because we're already 11 minutes into this, but there's some huge differences between these two. Yet on the same note, they are so similar and so capable and so robust done, and the way they are now, this wins for the strength factor in the front end for sure. There's no doubt about it. This solid front axle that's in here, we got a solid front axle in there. We got all of the, you know, I mean, the way that this is built in here, this thing is designed to be able to take the abuse on huge levels. This one is designed more for bump compliance and smooth ride, and you got independent front suspension in here, and you got CV axles, and you know, this is a beautiful system, but this one does not have the robustness that you're getting out of this one. In my opinion, when I look at it, after driving both of these and driving them all the time and owning both of them, the best way to put the purpose of these is off-road tractor that's unstoppable. And this is a very capable off-road vehicle that's made to be comfortable, smooth as butter, and have that power and that miles per mile attitude there. This is tractor. And I love the tractor factor of it. So there you go. Well, like I said, we got more videos of this kind of stuff coming out for you pretty soon here. The more miles I put on this and the more time I spend with it, the more of this stuff that I think about and we'll be talking about. We haven't even dived into the interiors between the two. This isn't the only one comparison video on here. I learned that a long time ago. I could sit here and make a 2-hour video comparing the two, and then people will watch like 15 minutes of it and they never get the rest of it. So instead, it'll be broken apart into different videos over a series. But there's some overview for you between this and the Gladiator. Any comments, put them down below. Thanks for watching.